If you really want to succeed in this business, you got to duplicate. You got to be sponsoring. If I was in your position and I lived this way, 6 people a month are going to join my business. One way or the other. I mean, if it means that I'm laying across their driveway in the morning when they come out, that works for me too. And when I would do parties and presentation women, and I'd say, look, we're going to do this. I lay everything on. He had 14 products at that time, so it didn't take long. We're going you want to go ahead and place your order, or you want to wait an hour and a half? How long do you want to spend on this? And I'm not going anywhere till you order this product, because I care about you. And you can cure a lot of things, but you can't cure ugly if you don't use this product. I make it funny. I mean, they weren't particularly ugly, you know what I'm saying, but I start making them, And you throw your body against the door so nobody leaves till you order. How do you want to do this? And my first party, Cheryl, nobody showed up. I had fixed hors d'oeuvres. I had the candles lit. You'd think Martha Stewart lived there. I had everything perfect. Not a single friend, showed up. Heartbreaking. How many of you would have packed your little kid up and said, well, that's it. This stuff doesn't work. You've done it. Don't look at me and lie to me. You've never lied to me before to now. But some of you say, oh, I would keep on going. I would just keep on going. Oh, no. I called each one of them. I said, I am so sorry about the parking problems. I know you couldn't get in. Backed up all the way to Tatum. I am so sorry. Next time I'm going to get valet parking, I let you down. I'm so sorry. So we ran out of food, and I said, I'm just embarrassed that I didn't have any idea how people would be so excited and want to buy this product. That's what I did. But that night, it was pretty challenging. I set the pillows up in my living room as if they were all there. I did my entire presentation. Yeah, it was a sellout. They ran out of product in the warehouse for that particular party. They didn't have that much. But that's the way I roll. That's the way I looked at it. I pretended that they were all there, and I practiced. You're going to learn more from failure than you ever learn from success. I could give you 4 or 5 hours of material about how I have failed and how it motivated me. I'll show you. Had idea after idea after idea. And what it taught me is I didn't follow up on those ideas. I didn't keep the course. That's what's testing you right now. Because someday you're going to have to face your Heavenly Father. And you're going to have to say, yeah, I know, I heard about it and I could have done it, but somebody said no to me, and I didn't have the confidence, and it felt like I looked that good, and I just had to, go get a job, which is just over broke. I just had to do all these other things, but I don't know why, but you could have, and you look at your children. You see, you do this business so that your kids can say, that's my mama, that's my daddy up there. By the way, I was teasing about my husband of 50. If you've got a good husband, tell him you love him before another woman does. Because for every woman with a headache, there's another with aspirin in her pocket.
What'd she say? For every woman with a headache, there's another woman with aspirin in her pocket.
Aspirin is how you spell it. You got a good husband, keep them, because they're so hard to train. And I don't know about you, but I don't have the same equipment to train with I used to. If you're writing down notes, you got to increase your sponsoring. You don't want me to hear that because today is the 26th, is that right? 28th, I've lost 2 days. Oh yeah, I flew here the 26th. Okay, see how important that is. Today's the 28th. Rita, how do you expect me to sponsor 6 people? How many does that sound challenging to sponsor? Yeah. How many of you sponsored anybody this month? Stand up if you've sponsored anybody this month.
I can't remember. I did.
Let's give them a round of applause.
I sponsored one person this month. Good. I'm going to sponsor.
I want you to think about this next question. Those of you that have children, how many of you, to save your child's life, could sponsor 6 before the end of the month? Would you stand up? It's a no-brainer, isn't it? So you know what I'm asking you to do?
I've done a lot more.
Don't say which kid is it. Now that's not fair.
What'd she say? I can't hear. The person said, which kid? What did she say? Which kid?
No, that's the funniest thing I've heard, though. So what I would ask you is, do what you would do that would save somebody's life that you haven't done up to now. Your know-how is so far ahead of your do-how. You know what to do. This isn't rocket science. I'm not asking you to do open heart surgery, folks. I'm asking you to sell, sponsor, and follow up. And the real jewel of what I've just said is the follow-up part, because you give up instead of following up. You give up. How dare you sleep at night knowing the people that need extra income, that need the health benefits, that need to feel better about themselves. They need to look better, because when you look good, you feel better. I had a doctor on my show. They had developed a perfume. He was a leading surgeon. And I said, you developed a perfume? And I said, that's just with medicine? He said, yeah, Rita. He said, strangest thing. He said, a doctor doesn't like to go into a patient's room when they're gravely ill and you can't fix them. And I had a very elderly patient that was slowly passing away. And I dropped by to see her one night, and I walked in, and Rita, she had her face all fixed up. She smelled good. And I said, oh, are you expecting a guest? He said, I knew she didn't have any family and that she was very alone. So sad. And he said, I was just so excited that she looked so good. And she said, no, doctor. Doctor, I found out when I look good and I smell good, I feel better. And he went out and started a company to help people look better, smell better, so they would feel better, because medicine didn't cure it all. So, do you know how much better you feel when you look better? I mean, duh. I mean, if you got nothing else to be proud of, talk about that. Just say, you know, you look terrible. I just know you would feel better if we fix you up a little bit. I'm just teasing about that. Don't ever say that. It's a little humor. But make people feel they deserve to feel better by looking better and setting that example. And then somebody that comes in your business, they might not be, I mean, there are people walking around here today that would be on the cover of Vogue. They don't have to be that improved. But the fact that there is an improvement, whether it's their health, their weight, whatever it is, improvement is a sound message. But so the first thing that if you're worried about, well, what am I supposed to do? Sponsor. Sponsor. As if your family's life depended on it. That's what Tony Robbins talked about for 3.5 hours. I just saved you $300,000 from hiring him for a personal coach. You could jump up and down for 3.5 hours and say, the business is about looking at a person that has said no to you about the business, but all of a sudden, your child's life is in danger and you've got to have that person join your business. What would you do different? You'd walk up and you'd smile and you'd say, I'm so excited to be able to tell you about this, and you'd be exuberant, you'd be enthusiastic. You would be sharing and caring and loving all over that person, wouldn't you? Because you got to have that person in your business to save your child's life. You wouldn't say, you mind if I talk to you for a minute? I just want to tell you. I know you're not interested in this, but I just want to tell you about something. No, you wouldn't do that. You'd be squealing with excitement. You'd be screaming, I'm so excited about this business. I couldn't wait to tell you about this. What would you do different? Because you hadn't been doing that up to now. When I would approach somebody, I would look at them and I'd say, you could be so good at this. And I'd start giving them ideas. But I was enthusiastic. I am, I guess, blessed or cursed with a huge amount of enthusiasm. I don't wake up in the morning feeling that way. I'm walking around like everybody else, scratching their butt, trying to get... But all of a sudden, I can ignite this when I need it. So can you. So can you. This isn't just something, you get this, no, you don't get it. No, it's right here. Lead this business with your heart, and the rest will follow. But lead with your heart. I can look at you and you know if I love you. You absolutely do. I look at you and say, I love you. See, bottom line for everything I have to share, and that's all I'm doing is sharing. I have trouble keeping my bra strap up right now. It's kind of aggravating me. All I'm doing is sharing. But bottom line for every bit of this, I'm sharing. If each one of you knew you had 5 minutes to live your life, how would you spend your last 5 minutes? You'd call somebody. And you wouldn't call somebody and say, I hate your guts. I've hated you now since 1982. You low down, no good, scum-sucking bitch. I can't stand you. But how many times do we waste time during the day doing that? Yeah, how many times do we waste time running people down to them or about them? Gossip, the most evil part of your body is your tongue.
My mom always said that.
Yeah, I mean, you catch yourself running people down, talking to people. What good is that? That's because you are insecure and you want to run other people down so you will feel better about yourself. That's what it is. So if you had 5 minutes left, you would call somebody and you'd say, I love you, and I wanted you to know that. I wanted you to know that. You wouldn't waste your time. My girlfriend's husband, in perfect health, walked out the door, 32 years of age, and dropped dead of a heart attack before he reached his car. Perfectly healthy. She said to me later, when I was consoling her, I'm so sorry. She said, Rita, we had an argument. You ever had an argument? Your spouse? Yeah. Yeah. And she said, we'd had an argument. And when I do that, then I feel real guilty. I'm thinking, oh, something happened. Okay, I'll try not to be so negative and ugly and everything. But because of this story, she said, we'd had an argument and said some things to each other we shouldn't have said, yelled and everything. And she said, but before he left, we gave each other a hug and a kiss. And we said to each other, I love you. And she said, because Rita, I'll never get to say it again. I'll never get to say that again. I mean, that taught me, and you all know me, know I do this. I don't part company with anybody that I don't say, love you. Because you never hear it enough. Nobody's ever, don't you tell me that. I don't want to hear that from you. Don't you ever say that to me again. I'm talking to the president of Greyhound about doing a speaking engagement for their company. I hang up the phone after I said, well, I hope this works out. Love you.
Just like this.
He called me back. He said, what did you say? Maybe I need to spell it. I don't think you'd heard it in a long time. I said, love you. When can you speak for the company? Best shot you got. Just say, we never, ever hear it enough. You're here, if you read Ogmandino's book, The Greatest Salesman, he talks about the power of making people feel good about themselves. If you want to sell something to somebody, make them feel good about themselves. the compliments, the things that I have learned, and now I'm teaching my little granddaughters to do the same thing. And I told some people the other